All right, what's going on, everybody? We are back. It is episode number. What episode are we on, boys? Is this episode 8 or
I
9?
I really lost count actually.
All
I
right, so
thought it was 7.
we're on episode 7, 8, or 9. We're not sure. We'll figure it out. But we have another episode tonight, and we got the whole crew together for a pretty rare episode because that rarely happens anymore. So hoping to get back to that originally. That original group. Because
Carson
Carson's
lost
been gone a
count because
lot.
he wasn't here.
That's right. So I'm back. I'm back, baby, and we're gonna have a good show for you guys tonight. We're gonna do a lot of catching up because we've been gone. We didn't do anything last week. We did this. I think that was the first week, like Jimmy was saying a little bit ago, that we haven't posted any content whatsoever. And I'll be uploading 2 audio episodes tonight because we missed last week's. I didn't upload that. That's also a fluke or a mess up on our part. So we're gonna get that remedied for you tonight. But we're gonna do a bunch of catching up, a longer extended what you doing segment because lots been going on in all of our lives, I'm sure, since we've been all together. And we're going to talk about some LCS franchising, kind of what we think about it and where we think it's going, and just all sorts of opinions. So, who wants to start? Does anybody want to volunteer to start kick off?
I'd like to go actually.
Yeah, go ahead, Tyler.
Just give me 1 second.
Okay. Oh, I'm so nervous.
Hey guys, it's me. This is Jimmy Glogdiglion Schmidt here. I just want to do my best Jimmy impression. So, guys, I've been having some issues with my computer for a while, as you may know. And just recently, I ended up getting my graphics card back from Asus. And, man, I'm just really happy to be back. It's been a while since I could play video games, and now I'm silver, but it's okay. I'm going to bring it back one day. I got hard carried by Tyler Katzman when we were playing League just a few days ago, and it happens. Sometimes you're on top, sometimes you're on the bottom, you know what I mean, man? And that's basically all I'm doing, Back to you, Carson. Was that close?
Thank you, Jimmy. That
was that close?
That was pretty spot on as far as like a Jimmy impression goes.
I thought
dude,
so. I tried my
Jimmy,
best.
as far as I'm aware, Jimmy is back in action. Jimmy, are you back?
It seems to be working. The LEDs are pumped up. Everything's looking fly. There's a white guy's computer. And yeah, it hasn't crashed yet.
Dude, Jimmy's back, dude. All signs are pointing to that his computer's fixed. Dude, I've been waiting for this guy to get back for so freaking long. Dude, we're gonna play some PUBG. We're gonna play some League. It's going to be amazing. I don't know why Tyler's so sad right now. We're trying to be happy.
Oh,
dude,
man.
It's been so long. Jimmy, I'm so glad you're back. It's awesome.
They sent me a brand new one. It felt really good because it was all like sealed up and like really clean and pristine. And they sent me a new one just because they didn't have any parts to fix it because it was just the chips that were fucked.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't have any parts, and so they're just like, just take a new one. And so
awesome.
longer than I wanted, but it was nice to have that clean, crisp new graphics card.
It's probably cheaper that way, honestly. I mean, it's not like plastic costs them anything, really.
Probably.
Yeah, I mean, really, all they could really salvage is like the board, maybe. I don't know what was really wrong. It was either the board or the chipset. So
Jimmy's back, which means I think we can say it gives us a little more opportunity to make some more content probably down the line. Now that Jimmy's back to full strength, we can make some more videos, which we really haven't made any yet. We're still working on the Battle for Middle Earth video. It turns out it's been a little bit harder than we originally anticipated to get everything working on an older game. We were very close at one point, but we had some connectivity issues, and from there it's just kind of been a scheduling thing. So we're still working on that. If you're listening and you're looking forward to that video, we're still working on that, I promise. And it's gonna happen eventually, but we're hoping sooner rather than later.
I think we should be pretty good, actually. I think we're sealed and locked and ready to go. We just gotta get that schedule down now.
Yep, yeah. I think the one thing was because Tyler, you just got back from a trip, didn't you? Would you like to? That was kind of a big scheduling thing. So
yeah, let's actually do Tyler's what you did.
Yeah, would you want to give us a little rundown about how your trip was? Are you cool with that? You want to lead it off?
Yeah. So
all right. I want to hear all about it, actually.
Well, guess what? Today, for your eyes only, limited time offer, special screening. From 8 o'clock to 9 o'clock Central Time, you will get the opportunity to dive in the mind of Tyler Katzman.
Oh, I've always wanted to. So nervous.
Sneak peek of the trailer
Oh.
of the actual movie itself. Dun, dun. That's the Law and Order thing. The dun, dun, you know what I mean? And then they're like, oh, yeah, exactly. No, that's not what it is actually. But
That's Law and Order.
I want like the Jaws theme, like. Da, da.
No, okay, all right, we're getting off track.
What the
I'm
hell
gonna
are you
have
talking
to. I'm gonna
about?
have to. You know, like in Law and Order, where like it starts the scene or it, like switches locations and it's just like
Oh.
dun dun.
Like that.
Yeah,
I know what you're
exactly.
talking about. All right.
Yeah, we're switching scenes, so I'm doing the dun dun because it's triggering my mode. Okay, shut the fuck up, everyone. All right. Anyways, so on. Man, I don't even know. On Wednesday night, Wednesday night, I flew out to Seattle to go see my family and my other family, which is an anime convention that I go to regularly. Shoutouts to SakuraCon. Shoutouts to ANCEA. Shoutouts to Seattle. Oh, he just stopped. Why would you? He just skips straight to that. Okay, you're gonna tease me with the opener, and then you just totally switch. Okay, whatever.
I fucked up. I'm sorry. Please continue.
So so I saw my cousin and went to an anime convention, and then we got engaged, and that's basically it.
Oh, whoa.
All
Sorry,
that?
Tyler. I'm sorry. Can we go back? There was a pretty big thing back there. Did you say?
Oh yeah, I'm sorry, I forgot. Yeah, my bad. So what happened was we flew on a Wednesday night, and then my cousin picked me up, and then we went to his place over in North area. I forgot what it's like. It's like Mount Terrence Lake or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then when we were there, we basically had some time to get food and stuff on Thursday because we went with a bunch of people, 5 to be exact, and they didn't all fly in until Friday morning was when they all got in. So around like 1 to 3 o'clock on Thursday, we took an Uber down to good old downtown Seattle. Had a nice Airbnb at like this apartment condo thing over near Pike's Place. So it was pretty cool. Nice view of the Ferris wheel. Nice little balcony outside area. Then Friday, Saturday, Sunday, excuse me, we had our anime convention. And so that's SakuraCon. Happens every single year. It's like one of the biggest anime conventions in the Pacific Northwest. I think it's still rated like top 5 in like the United States. And it's something that I've been going to for quite a while, honestly. I think one day when I was in Minnesota, me and my friends were just like, let's look at big anime conventions. Because they have a few small ones in Minnesota, but they're not like really anything cool or serious. So I literally went on Google and I was like, best anime conventions, USA. And then it was like top 5, and I was like, man, Seattle's a great place. I'd love to go to Seattle. So we, yeah, so then we,
Is that okay? Are we
I'm
good?
back. You know, it was fine. I just
All right.
disconnected my
All right.
headset.
Cool.
So then we went to Seattle, and that's kind of how it started everything. And that was, what did I say, like 5 years ago or something? I think that was before I even went to Montana, I think, actually. Yeah, it was. Or maybe, I think it was my first year in Montana. It was my first year in Montana. My friends drove out to Montana, and then we drove from Montana to Seattle. I think that was the first time. So yeah, that happens Friday through Sunday. The best part about it is it's 24 hours, so it's like over like 1,200 hours of like content because they just have like multiple
that's
rooms
awesome.
running 24/7.
Holy shit.
And then we had like an off day on Monday because we all didn't fly back until like Tuesday morning through night. So we spent Monday kind of just exploring, went out towards Bremerton, the Puget Sound, took pictures, had fun, and then that's it.
What about the?
I think you may have missed something.
What?
Yeah, I
The
think you might have missed
SakuraCon?
something in there. Yeah, SakuraCon. What was that like?
Yeah, what was that like?
Oh, SakuraCon's pretty cool. So it's a funny you may ask, Jimmy. I wasn't planning on talking about this, but SakuraCon is it's in the Washington State Convention Center, and you know I'm a big sucker for Seattle downtown area. It's a really cool area to live in and walk around in. You have just some amazing things. I think someone told me that Amazon has like 20 buildings or something right now, and they're going to add like 20 more or something. So they're like taking over downtown, and their buildings are super cool in technology. You have a cool other places that are just set up around there. We have some good campuses, good apartments. Obviously, Pike's Place is the thing. So it's always just been a really cool area in general. And once SakuraCon hits, it's like the entire city gets behind it. And then like everything's just different. Like, you know, Starbucks has advertisements for special SakuraCon, like smoothies and shakes and things. And then
Wow.
there's just people walking around in costume all the time and no one gives a shit. They're just like, oh, what convention's in town today? So, like, the whole city is, like, pretty accustomed to this sort of thing. And it just makes the event, like, that much better. You know, you have a lot of...
That sounds awesome, yeah.
You have, like, a lot of cool panels that come in. Seattle Video Game Orchestra shows up. We have lots of famous writers. We had a Japanese band come again this year, like they normally do. They usually try to pull, like, first-time overseas bands.
Mm-hmm.
So bands that haven't been to America yet. And it's pretty cool. I mean...
What was the best costume you saw?
I knew you were going to say that.
You better have an answer. You knew it was coming.
Yeah, you know, I don't really... I, like, look a lot at cosplays, but I don't really, like, take pictures and things, so then I have, like, a 6-second memory. Shout out to my friend Brendo. He did a Pain cosplay from Naruto, and we're talking about how, like, in Pain, he has, like, these, like, little spikes that are, like, up the side of his nose, and... I was like, oh, dude, how'd you make these? He's like, I just took some wooden chopsticks and I cut them up into pieces and then painted them and then just glued them to my face. And I'm like, wow, but it looks really legit. So I was just like, that's kind of impressive how you did that.
Yeah.
I just Googled Pain. That's badass.
It's a really cool cosplay.
It's
one of the, oh, God, I'm so not Naruto. Akatsu, I think it is, like the mafia gang, whatever part of it is. But yeah,
I'm not either. But
they're pretty
awesome.
cool. It's a cool one. You know,
Cool.
you saw like your crazy ass like Yokos from Gurren Lagann. You know, like people in like swimsuits. We saw more Naruto. We saw like Bleach. You see like your Kingdom Hearts. I saw a really cool Sora from Kingdom Hearts, which was nice. And
That
then
was sweet.
yeah, other than that, I mean. You just see a lot of cosplays. I don't really know if anything like stands out like you would see at like Anime Expo or anything, but I don't know. It's kind of just a safe place for people to try shit, so you just don't necessarily get like excellent stuff. But
Sure.
Yeah.
And then what was that other thing that happened while you were there? There's something else that might have happened. I don't know. Is that really it?
I'm trying to think.
Hmm.
Oh, you mean
let's
on
talk about
Monday?
data points.
Yeah, on Monday. I got you. So on Monday we took a ferry over across the Puget Sound, and we headed over to Bremerton Island, I believe it was. I always get them confused. So we headed over to Bremerton Island, and then it's like a 45-minute ferry. So you got to sit on the ferry. You know, it's like kind of a bigger boat. You know, in the first place, you can like walk around. There's an inside, outside. And we were like taking photos and things. I got like some crew photos with Kyle and Hazelip. Shout outs to Kana Gang.
Dude, that one picture is a legit rap album cover. You guys are about to drop some hot shit.
My buddy was like, let me get lower on the ground for this photo. And I'm like, oh shit. Oh shit, we're going down. And yeah, it was pretty cool when we got off. That was my first time on the island. So they have like a little tiny downtown area. They had like this cool little small bar that just had a bunch of like arcade machines. They had like a Navy museum. They had a few parks, and we ended up walking over to this park on like the other side of the island, which isn't very far. It was like, I don't know, a 15-minute walk or something. The weather's been like okay the whole time we're there, mind you, like 40s, 50s. And so we headed over to the park. I think it's like Evergreen Park or something like that. And then we got a chance to take a look at it. That's actually where one of my friends got married. Actually, Brent got their photos and marriage over there. So that's pretty cool. We got to see how that was like. And then I just proposed, and then we headed back, and that was it.
My boy is engaged.
I'm sorry.
He's settling down. Dude, it's a big deal. Congratulations,
Off the market.
buddy. From the Hot Garbage Podcast.
I think I've been off the market for quite a longer than that. I don't think you're off the market now. I think you're off the market.
Like it's like you're like for real, like off the market. Like it's shit's going to another level. Am I not right? It's a big deal, man.
It's just an expression. You have to take it literally.
Congratulations, man.
Thank you.
That's awesome to hear. I'm glad.
Yeah, seriously.
I appreciate it.
For realsies, that's awesome. I know I asked you this once already, but how sick are you of people asking you about your engagement and in your face about it?
You can't tell.
It's not like a. I don't know. I just feel like the whole thing's like. I don't know. Like I feel like when you're someone that does it really early on, like within like 3 years of the relationship,
Mhm.
it's kind of like a really like ecstatic thing. But then like I'm already like 8 years in, and it's kind of just like, dude, I fucking hate everything. So you're just like, dude, I'm just doing this. I'm just doing the step, man. It's not a big deal. World hunger is a big deal. This isn't a big
Like-
deal. You know what I mean?
Kind of like nobody should be surprised. You guys are kind of freaking out. Like you really didn't think this was gonna happen. Kind of like that.
Yeah, like it's like I think I was the only one that thought it was gonna like I mean I knew it would happen, but like
Yeah.
everyone else knew it would happen, but like everyone else is just like whoa, and I'm just like,
Well, it's-
Jesus,
yeah.
guys.
Nevertheless, it's really cool. I mean, I got engaged after like 3 years, and people were like in my face about it. So
Yeah, because you just fit my
it-
3-year
it
rule.
gets annoying. It does get annoying, but yeah. So it's but I'm very happy for you. That's awesome.
I'm not happy for you.
All right, well, whatever.
I'm not happy that you're happy for me. You should
Well-
be happy for yourself, not for me.
Well, I'm happy for you, and you're gonna like it.
Jimmy, how do you feel?
Dude, I'm excited for you, man. It's been a good time since I got married, and yeah, that's about it, man.
Are you guys
Seems like
gonna come out?
hate my life, Tyler.
Are you guys
Huh?
gonna come out to party?
Am I gonna come out? I will see what I can do.
Dude, is this gonna
Okay,
be
I
our
don't like Jimmy's
bachelor
answer
party
already.
ever?
Carson, I need a better answer from you.
Oh, I'm gonna be there.
Okay.
How
I
much
don't care
are,
where it's at.
how much are
I'ma be
tickets
there.
about buying like advance?
I don't know. I mean, why don't you guys just drive like Carson did?
It depends on what you're
Dude,
doing.
I don't think I
If-
can
if
get
you-
time
what
on
you-
that.
Yeah.
You can't get
Wait,
time in like
time off.
a year.
Maybe.
Damn.
Can we talk?
Jimmy.
Can we talk about your hot garbage podcast bachelor party? Because we gotta have one of those for sure. So you gotta.
I
we gotta get that
I
shit
have
planned
the I have the Wonder triplets on my list, so
Hell yeah.
that's the best I can give you.
Well, we gotta do some shit. It's gonna be fun, but yeah. I mean, yeah. But for reals though, if you do something, I'll do the best I can to be there because you're my
Yeah.
brother, and it'd be fun. It'd be a good time.
Jimmy's just like
No, dude, I can fly down there, but I just don't think I can find time to drive because just the industry I'm in, like there's nobody to replace you.
weed moves
Like,
fast,
when you're
Jimmy.
gonna- Dude, just like when we're a small operation right now, like when the scientist is gone, there's a lot of work for the other people would have to do.
We'll get that shit figured out for sure.
Yeah,
Can-
not big industry yet.
Can you
Let me-
tell me
yeah.
about the industry a little bit? Can you? I still
Yeah,
want to
let's
hear more of
transition.
Jimmy's job.
Yeah. Let's transition to Jimmy.
Yeah,
what
so,
you doing, man? What's going on with you?
I got a job last week, and we're doing QC analysis on the medical stuff for the state. Mandate just passed, or it passed a while ago, but it just came in to where if you're providing for X amount of patients, you have to like have it tested for metals and potency and all that good stuff, microbial stuff, contamination of E. coli and shit. So we're testing that, which is basically what I was doing with dietary supplements earlier, because that's pretty much the only science industries other than hospitals around here. So that's where I'm at. It's pretty cool though.
But like, what do you like? Just stab shit or like plants or like what?
Yeah,
How does it work?
That sounded boring as shit.
Yeah, I
That
need you to
sounded
tell me like in
boring as
cool
shit.
talk.
Yeah.
What exactly do you do?
We're just shitting all over. you.
Good. Try to talk about it in a professional manner. So, like my next
want the
boss Googles
unprofessional
is.
version.
Yeah, this is the Hot Garbage Podcast, not the 2018 Coalition
Yeah,
of
we're
Scientists.
not supposed to make sense.
we
Fucking-
we
let's
grind
get
up a
weird.
bunch of product and we test it for stuff, man. That's pretty much it. We either run
By
it through an
product, you mean
HPLC.
weed?
Yeah, that's in
what I
this
wanna hear.
case, yeah.
Yeah,
in
but what
this
kind?
case,
What is the kind of weed? Are we talking about like the green part,
It's
or
anything, dude. Anything that they sell, we have to test.
what about the stuff that I
So
find on like
talking
the ditch?
Lollipops. Well, I don't think that's.
Wait, you have to test lollipops? You
What
just
the
like
fuck?
lick lollipops all day?
No, I have to grind them up with like industry secrets because I'm actually legally bound not to tell you how we process it. But
Right, on stream. I got you.
Like weed?
No, like-
yeah,
guys,
you
like-
can't tell us on stream. You tell us later.
It's like if someone wanted to start a lab, like we can't tell them how to make it.
So wait, do you
What
actually?
happens?
It's actually like pretty complicated.
Is it like finished product that you actually have to like just destroy?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
Oh yeah. Any samples that we finish, like if we didn't use all of the sample to, test, it has to be like destroyed.
That's interesting. So
Yep.
what happens if you tell us? Like, what's the penalty?
You're gonna get
I
sued.
could get sued.
Lose
for-
his license.
Nah, I can just get sued for money. 'cause
Disbarred.
I signed one with my employer so that I don't go to another lab. Like it's basically like if another lab started up and they wanted to snipe me, I couldn't like go and tell them all my
Hmm.
secrets. But in addition to that, I'm not allowed to tell them to anyone, especially on
Well,
like stream.
That's a risk I'm willing to take, so I'd like you to tell me how you do it.
Can you just do it for me? Like, just go into a room and then just do it and give me the finished
Yeah,
product.
because you don't have to tell it. Don't tell us. Show
Yeah,
us. There's no rule
you don't have
against
to.
showing us.
Ooh, he's got a
I
point.
Can't do it.
What if you accidentally are just like in the bathroom and you forget to lock the door and I just kind of open the door a little
Why
bit?
would I be doing my job, dude? I do it at work 5 days a week. I don't want to come home and do it.
Wow, Jimmy.
You know how much money weed is worth?
Yeah, Jimmy.
Just trust me, you want to do it at home.
What if you
No,
like
because
crush?
we don't get paid jack for testing it.
What if you guys like take the lollipops and then like you just accidentally slip a little bit in your pocket every once in a while? Like,
Yeah,
oh,
accidentally.
there's just so much lollipop powder, and all of a sudden some is in my
Yeah.
pocket. And then like we just make like a box full of just the leftover stuff that you just slip, like not even just lollipops, like everything, and then we just like
We're
melt
like
it down.
state certified. Like we can't be doing that, or like that's a way to get in trouble.
So do you come home just like smelling like a fucking stoner? Every day?
I do actually. It was
Really?
really funny. The like when I went in for my interview, like I could smell it down the street, and I was like, I don't know if I want to work at this place. Like this is kind of sketchy, but they have like really nice equipment and it's a really great work environment, so it's pretty fun. But like I went in and it, like the whole place like just stunk, and then after like 2 days of being in there, you can't smell any of it. Like you can
So-
only smell it in like some really concentrated samples, and you're just like, oh yeah, now I smell it. But like yeah, I'm like completely nose blind to it now.
Well, that happens, like, because like I worked at Subway, and like at first when I worked at Subway, I smelt everything, and now I like after like a year there, like I don't smell it anymore.
Yeah.
So you could become a giant stoner, and your wife would never even know.
Well,
No,
Oh, you're
I
right, you
would. No, she could, and I would never know. But
Well,
But-
no,
Yeah,
I'm
'cause
saying,
he
'cause
can't
you always
smell
come
it.
home smelling like pot. So if you come
it's
home
actually
smelling
not that bad, you know. I think most of it just sticks in my car and then on my jackets. So
That's
yeah.
cool, man. I'm glad you found a job. Like things are turning around for the Reinschmidt's got his computer back. He's a working man
Yeah.
again. But now that you got your computer back, now you have to go back to work and you can't play on your new computer. Like you would.
boo.
Shitty timing.
Boo.
Circle of life, dude.
If you're gonna be unemployed, like you might as well have a good computer.
Yeah.
Son of a bitch, that sucks.
Yeah,
But no, dude,
it
you
blows,
guys are
but yeah, it's
some
cool.
good shit has happened to you guys since we got
I'm excited just to be back at work and
yeah,
doing lab stuff and getting experience so I can get better jobs.
for sure. And like clearly you're passionate about that stuff, which is important. So that's pretty cool.
I'm just someone who
Very
just
cool.
can, I don't know, I just like enjoy working on lab. It's really mind numbing and like easy just to pass the day. And then you get to go home and play games.
That's very cool. So well, you guys have had good stuff happen to you. I've had some pretty shitty stuff happen to me. You want to hear about it? I'm glad you want to hear about
Yes.
it.
I'm asking.
Um,
Let us know.
So back in October, before we started doing the podcast, I work for a tree care company. I might have mentioned that once already. Back in October, I had at work what was called a patellar displacement. Basically, what that means is my kneecap popped out of place, and like
I
quickly
remember
popped out,
this.
popped back
Yeah,
into
you were
place.
like
Yeah.
hobbling.
Well, March 26th, the Monday at work, I did it again. Was getting out of a truck and just had my left leg planted, got out of the truck, twisted my knee, and my kneecap just like popped out of place again.
Jesus, dude, I think you're not supposed
Yeah.
to do that.
You're not supposed to do that. I know. I wasn't wearing my brace, but my doctor said I didn't have to wear my brace if it was feeling strong.
Oh,
It
sue that
wasn't.
guy. Go in for that
Happened
guy.
again. Well, I mean, like everybody asked that. Yeah, you wouldn't have to. It's just a freak thing. So I can't sue him. But it happened again, and I've been out of work since then. Good news, it wasn't as bad, but I might have to have surgery to replace it so it doesn't happen again.
Jeez.
There's like a tendon that's supposed to keep that from happening, and mine's like compromised now, according to the doctor. So I'm having an MRI, and if it says I need surgery, I'm gonna have to have surgery to get my fucking knee tendon replaced, which sucks ass. So that's what's been going on with me.
Shitty.
That's really about it since we last had a podcast.
Workers' comp?
Oh yeah, it's definitely workers' comp for sure. So that's a good thing.
Dude, get that shit replaced, man. Have them replace it with like synthetic,
Yeah.
like heroin
Well,
or something. I don't know.
Yeah, and, like, you don't want
Just
you
the
never
best.
You never want to have surgery if you don't have to, but it's like I might have to,
Yeah.
and at least it's workers' comp, so I'm happy about that. But yeah, it sucks.
You might as well sell me that drum kit right now, son.
Oh hell no, dude! I do. It's my left leg. I only double bass sometimes, so I really need my right leg more than my left leg. But if I get surgery, it'll be stronger than ever. So I'll be back drumming like a motherfucker. So you know it.
Hot garbage drum stream.
Hot Garbage, the band on the road.
Yeah, Jimmy,
Start the tour,
Jimmy, you need to
Soda.
get an instrument.
I'm trying to pick up the guitar, but I'm kind of just lazy about it.
Well,
You
you
can
hold it
scream.
by the neck, and then you use your other hand to support it at the bottom.
That's
Yeah.
like a bass. That's like a bass player
And
thing.
you turn
you're
it,
doing there.
and then you put it on your lap, and that's how you hold a guitar.
I know how to hold
Ding
it.
ding
It's
ding
just
ding
like
ding ding ding.
stick
Ding ding
around.
ding 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 ding.
All right, I'll
Jimmy,
play
can
the
you
Jack
scream?
Black guitar.
The
Can you
Jack Black
scream?
guitar.
Can I scream?
Yeah, I like screamo music.
I'm pretty decent at singing, but not
No,
screaming.
I said screaming, not singing.
Nah,
Totally
I
All
know.
right, all right, sing something for me right now, dude.
I mean, I can't be put on the spot.
Memories
I have
all
no idea.
alone in the moonlight.
There you go. That was
Maybe I should
beautiful.
sing.
Yeah, we should definitely have like Carson on vocals.
You should have
Alright, so
Winston
while-
on vocals.
While we've been podcasting, I figured out
Doesn't
that
speak.
we're on episode 8.
He doesn't need to speak when he sucks his own dick. I'm sorry, go ahead, Carson.
Oh, so we're on episode 8. I figured that out. This is episode 8 of the Hot Garbage Podcast.
Oh boy.
I'm gonna forget that. I'm gonna
Yee.
write it down somewhere.
Yee yee. So we're doing that. All right. So we have another topic that we wanted to talk about because the LCS Championships were today. Somebody want to tell us how that went? Did anybody watch?
Oof. It
I
was,
didn't
a
get a chance to
little,
catch it.
it was a little rough. Liquid pretty much, spoilers alert, Liquid pretty much stomped him.
It was not rough. It was beautiful. It was exactly what I thought. I called everything. I said Fnatic's gonna 3-0, and then I said Liquid's gonna 3-0, and everyone's like, no, 100 Thieves is good, and I'm like, no, they're actually not. Sorry.
So Liquid did 3-0. So that's a fact.
Yeah.
Damn,
Yeah.
dude, that's rough. I was totally pulling for 100 Thieves, but I think they were a little in out of their depth.
They didn't show up, I don't think, but Liquid also played like superb. Like Liquid played top notch, and I don't think 100 Thieves was 100%.
Yeah, that's rough. I mean, it was a good year though. I mean, from what I'm hearing, they've had
Yeah.
as far as like viewership, as far as monetary income, everybody did really well this year. So it's, I mean, I think it's good for the sport in general. So I think we were going to talk a little bit about like I said, franchising and
Yeah.
how does somebody have something they want to start us off with, something they really want to like, talk about, or I mean, if not, I can just kind of start us off.
Man, I don't know much about franchising. All I can say is whatever they did, like I think just mixing up the teams a little bit and doing whatever happened.
Sure.
I really don't know, but it came up awesome, dude. Like it came
Yeah.
up really nice.
I'm happy to
enjoyed
give a
it.
little bit of background on franchising. So
Yeah.
So think of like, so you know how the NFL, each city has a team, right? There's no relegation. There's no, you could lose every single game. One of the teams did last year, just for example, in the NFL. You can lose every single game and you're not going anywhere because essentially what you're doing is you pay a ton of money for your spot in the league, like forever, or until like unless you're legally kicked out for violations or you sell the team to somebody else, like it doesn't matter. Like, so that's what the LCS is moving towards. So the LCS this year, excuse me, gave teams the option, or gave certain teams the option to apply for franchising. So like Immortals is gone now because they didn't get franchised. They didn't pay to have their spot in the league. Like CLG, TSM, Team Liquid.
Carson, I'm gonna have to stop you right now. They actually just didn't get invited.
Yeah.
They didn't even get the opportunity.
Yeah, they even give fucking Noah a chance, bitches.
Yeah, so like they're all gone, but like CLG, TSM, Liquid, what's another team that's back from last year? So there's certain teams that came back that they paid for their spot in the league now, so they're there. They cannot get relegated anymore. It's there. And now, so we have the new teams. We have Golden Guardians, we have Clutch Gaming, we have 100 Thieves. There's another team, 100. Okay, so 100 Thieves up. So like those new teams. So like Golden Guardians are backed by the Golden State Warriors of the NBA, as we all know. 100 Thieves is backed by the Cavaliers owner, and then the Rockets of Houston are backing Clutch Gaming. So those owners, those companies basically paid for a permanent spot in the league. The league makes more money this way. It allows the league to also make more money as far as selling merchandise, because people can buy merchandise for these teams knowing that their team's going to be there. Like, so if I bought a CLG jersey this year because I know they're not really going anywhere, because they're franchised. They're there now. So it allows these teams to
Just in time because they would have got relegated.
Yeah, no shit. They would have got relegated this year. So and it also allows these teams to build more of a dynasty, almost like they can, kind of like the NFL does. They can get new players in the draft. They can build a long-term build an identity, almost build a brand is what I should say. They build a brand. They sell more memorabilia. It allows, I think it adds more parity eventually too, because I think they're going to start to kind of streamline the player, like the way they bring new players into this league. Because I think they're going to start having drafts. They kind of had that this year.
Well, the academy team thing. Because
exactly.
Each team has to have an academy team now, basically.
Yep. Exactly, Tyler. So like it's like the NBA has like the G League. It's like it's where players, like each team has a G League affiliate, which is like where not players that aren't as good. It's almost like a farm team. Players that aren't as good go there, they play there, they get experience. They're still playing basketball, but they're not at an NBA level. And teams can bring players from their teams up into the NBA if they want and send people down just like that. So that's kind of what the LCS was kind of doing that before, which is one thing I think is very interesting, that the LCS was kind of ahead of these bigger leagues on that. They kind of were ahead of the curve because they had these academy teams way before. And I think the NBA can kind of like say thanks to the LCS for that. 'Cause like that's a really good idea. We can have these players, and baseball's done it for a while. They've got farm teams that they have, but I think just the whole franchising thing in general, I think it's awesome for the LCS. It's just taking it to that next level where there's a lot more stability in the league now, and it's clearly, like I said, they made a ton more money this year, so it adds stability to the league and just gives these teams a lot more to build off of. And I think it's just a good thing all around, in my opinion. That's what I think about it.
They said that overall the average player salary for this year jumped up to the 6 digits. Just average wise, awesome. Versus like last year, maybe like Bjergsen and people like that be making 6 digits for sure. But
yep, that's another thing I didn't mention, is it allows the players to make a lot more money and like to give them insurance and benefits and all this stuff that these other pro athletes are making. So again, it's another good thing about it for sure.
Do you think that, I mean, this is kind of what I've been thinking about, is do you think that the successes from the extra money and the ad revenue and all that stuff, or do you think it's just because a bunch of teams decided to throw like half of their best squad out, and so we had a bunch of like squads made up of like the best of this team and the best of that team? And I mean, I kind of think that's what happened.
Yeah,
so
that's a good question.
Go ahead, Tyler.
Oh, okay.
I'm not sure what you're asking exactly.
I know what he's asking because it's the same thing I was going to ask, actually. I want to compare it to the NALCS and the EULCS because arguably EULCS has always been better than us as far as Worlds goes. And this year we have no idea what's going to happen because this is the first year of NALCS in the franchising, and EULCS is still just the Wild West, essentially. Mm-hmm. And the way that EULCS has always operated is they've been able to take these young rookie talent that is homegrown in Europe and then just kind of build it up into their teams, which Fnatic is a good example for me because they've always been kind of running these rookies or new people, and then they kind of just build them up over time, versus in NA we tend to just kind of throw stuff away every once in a while, and we hold on to obviously the good stuff, but then we would rather just import or grab veterans that were good versus trying to do rookies. So I think this year is going to be really interesting to see who ends up being on top, especially for Rift Rivals this year, because I think the big thing to take away from this is with the franchising, all the teams in North America have a ton of money. They've gotten huge backing and sponsorships. Absolutely. I mean, Madison Square got in for CLG was huge, even though they fucked it up anyways. But, I mean, Team Liquid with fucking Disney, and they had one other too as well that I forgot that's on the train with them. But yes, you'd have to say arguably they're investing $10 million, if not more initially. But now that everyone has all this big money, the players are seeing it like, well, wait a second, I don't need to make this much money anymore. I can go do whatever I want. I can go to whatever team I want and have to worry about being relegated. And so I think from a player perspective, everyone's just kind of like, well, I mean, I don't even know if contracts are relevant anymore. I think that when they switched over to franchise and all the contracts essentially became void, they'd have to be re-signed again for a certain period because just the whole rules of the league just changed immensely.
I think they all got wiped, so it's everybody got a new contract.
So of course someone like Impact's going to be like, okay, well Steve's telling me he's making the super team, and Steve's got a lot of money, and I'm going to be making more money regardless. I'm going to go to the super team, and it gives players the chance to be like, I want to play in this team, and I'm going to play with this team under this corporation that I really believe in. And they
Mhm.
can do that without having to fear about, oh, when Fnatic was playing last year, they weren't doing the hottest. And obviously they're not going to get relegated, but for like Schalke is a good example in Europe.
Mhm.
They did get relegated, and then they had to get brought back in. And now they're back, but they're not doing that good, but they don't have to worry about it this year. They can still stay under the org that they really like, and they can
Mhm.
still do a long-term plan to foster better talent. But, you know, my question to your question is this going to give immediate success? You know, is the immediate success just due to the players swapping around, like you said, or is this more of like a thing where we should see long-term success over the, 5 years or something?
Yeah, I think. Yeah, go ahead. You got something, Jimmy? Go ahead.
Man, I with all the streamers leaving, and it feels like it might be a little too late, but we'll see. Like, right?
What
It's
about
all gonna
streamers
depend
leaving?
on how it goes. I mean, Nightblue tweeted he was leaving. I know Trick's like basically not playing. I know a lot of people have been like recently saying that they're quitting League. Just a couple of people actually. I mean, just naming off some streamers, but
Oh, I
it's
thought
like
that
a
was
big
just-
talk of the town.
Yeah, I just thought that was memes, actually. I didn't know that they actually
I think he's
left.
I think Nightblue is actually. I mean, I don't think he's like quitting for good, but he's just like not gonna give a shit about it. I don't think he's just like gonna play it sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think League of Legends first off is just it's way too popular, too big for as first just some streamers to leave. I don't think it's a huge deal. If it continues, then I'd be very surprised. But I don't know. I think to Tyler's question, I think the idea of why they're doing all this is to ensure the long term success of the LCS. And I don't know. I don't really know much if they've done much as far as like salary caps for these teams go. Because I mean, you can't just allow these owners to just go, okay, well, I have this much money, I'm just going to go buy all the players that I want. I think you have to have they're going to have to enforce some sort of like, okay, I know you have unlimited money, sir, but you can't spend all your money on these awesome players when this team doesn't have as much money because you're going to kick their ass every year, obviously. So I think they have to implement some sort of salary cap thing, and then also some sort of like, I think they need to kind of, unfortunately, they kind of need to go in the direction of these pro sports. Have trades, have a league office. They do have that, but like have this office that like handles like, hey, this trade is valid. This contract. You're gonna have to cover this guy's contract if you trade him. So, I mean, that's why the NFL and all these leagues are so successful because they have all this stuff planned out. So I think that's where the league is heading. But like you said, like Team Liquid just went out and paid all these players a shit ton of money this year, and that's why clearly they're number one because their team is fucking stacked. I mean, by all for all intents and purposes. So I think in the long term, once they get, it's a year by year thing because LCS is new to this. I think once they get these little tiny things figured out and kind of get used to this groove and get them all the rules set up and these teams to kind of figure out how to do their franchising and stuff, I think it'll see a lot of success. But I think Jimmy made a good point: is does League of Legends have the longevity to hold a league like this for so long, or because eventually it's very possible that people are going to get bored of the video game because people aren't playing Halo. Think about how big Halo was for a while. Nobody plays that anymore. It's not as big. So it's very possible that League could just go by the wayside eventually, and all these
It's had a long
just going to be out of money.
It's had a long time of staying power, and
I'm
I'm concerned about it going forward just because of just how many people I've seen leave this game, and we'll see. I mean, there's always new people coming in, and it's all about how it's gonna go. I mean, I'm just like predicting that. It's not really like a numbers to back that up. They're still strong, but just like the way Fortnite's taken over some things, and they're putting up numbers that no one can even believe, like at all. Like the Ninja stream, and then subsequently, I forget who else was on that like shattered his record. Subsequently, is looking like our complex League of Legends sport is probably not gonna have the staying power to hold on. Maybe we'll be like StarCraft, and there'll still be some stuff going 20 years later. But
I mean, like all
depend on the community.
Yeah. All these big time business owners have been investing in League, like because all these big time business people think the League has staying power. So obviously, because they're putting all this money into it, but maybe a big mistake by all of them. I don't know, Tyler. What do you think?
I mean, if anything's going to succeed in video games, it has to be League of Legends. I mean, I know that that's not necessarily what everyone believes in, but it's just so far ahead right now that if we want to continue seeing games like Fortnite and stuff like that step up to the plate, we need it to be sustained by esports still being the big thing that it is.
Sure.
So, I mean, look at it this way. Do I think LCK or LCL or LMS or whatever are going to go to franchising? I don't really think so. I think that the ploy to do franchising in North America and Europe is because that's where the money is.
Yep.
I mean, to sustain the sport. I think North America and Europe is where they're going to be making the money to keep Riot Games and Tencent in business. Besides, if you're going to tell me that Tencent as a company is ever going to drop Riot or League of Legends, I don't know. I don't think so. That's just not how China works. The amount of money that's in China, some shady-ass person will just give like $6 million and be like, just keep this running for another year, or $6 billion or whatever. Million's not a really relevant number, but it just can't. It just can't die. I mean, I know that streaming-wise it looks bad, but hey, in the defense of Nightblue and other people that are leaving, look at offline TV and how successful they've been. They have multiple players in one house that don't necessarily just play League of Legends, but it's the corporation of everything that brings it together. They have a personal aspect where they're going out and doing personal things, and they have the aspect of, we have Toast, who's like a really good Hearthstone player. You have Lily Pichu, who's just popular based off her music. You have Pokimane, because she's hot as fuck. And then you have Fed and editors and things like that. Like, it ties it together because of the personalities and the people. And we are noticing that because of, obviously, TSM Legends, now 100 Thieves, the Heist, I think it is their series that they do. Team Liquid does one. It is. They're all the content's being made is really good now.
Yeah.
And I think that really is kind of showing why people are trying to leave League of Legends or do other things, because people are not just interested in League of Legends; they're interested in like the whole like esports community around League of Legends and all the other games too.
Yeah. I think even if League of Legends does die, which I think like it's highly doubtful, but even if it does, there's always gonna be something after. And what League of Legends and the LCS has done for the esports community, no matter what, is just you can't say enough about it. But yeah, I think Tyler makes a good point where it's like if there's enough money behind it, anything is going to succeed. And there's definitely enough money behind League of Legends that even if it becomes a little less popular, it's not going anywhere. There's way too much money being made and spent, for a free-to-play game. Think about that for a second. This game doesn't cost anybody anything to play it, and it's just killing it. So, yeah, I think all good points.
I think the only thing I could say to you, Jimmy, is what is Riot going to make next? Because for all we know, maybe the next Riot game is just going to destroy League of Legends, and we're all idiots for ever thinking this game was good. I mean, or I won't even be hypocritical. What's the next Blizzard game? Overwatch has been doing good, but what's the next step for Blizzard? What's the next step for like Valve or like these other big companies? What's seeing next? You can bring up fucking PUBG and like Fortnite and stuff, and yeah, those are pretty good games, but like, what are the big guys doing? Like, what are the big guys doing? Are the big guys going to be just complacent in this, like, 3-leg race of, like, Dota and, well, 4, Dota, CSGO, and Overwatch and League of Legends? Like, are we going to get some other big players in here? Like, I want to see what everyone else is doing. What is everyone doing? Is everyone really just sitting here, like, okay with just masturbating, and League of Legends just kind of gets, like, a hooker every once in a while, or what? Like...
Yeah, I mean, I feel like you're asking what the next genre is going to be because, like... Let's face it, CSGO is like the first-person shooter. Dota and League of Legends hold the like MOBA games, and like no one's been able to take those. We got battle royale games that came out with PUBG and Fortnite, but like, what's gonna be the next online competitive? I mean, it's not gonna be RTS because StarCraft. No one's gonna take on StarCraft.
I think battle royale is probably the next big one.
But it's already here. And there's already established franchises. I'm saying, what's the next big one? Because obviously people aren't like. I mean, Fortnite and PUBG are fun. I love them, but they're not like the esports niche that a lot of people are looking for. They're a great game to play and they're super fun, but they're not like something that the esports community is like looking at.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, so Fortnite is great, but it's not esports because there's too much building. I don't like the building and shit. It's not fun to watch. PUBG is a great game, but there's so many flaws, and it's not polished enough to be an esport. Somebody's gonna do the battle royale thing right, and probably gonna make it correct for an esports thing because there's probably tons of money there. Maybe, I don't know what.
That's a bold prediction. It's not too bold, but it's like at the same time, we saw what happened when people tried to make MOBAs with League of Legends and Dota. Like,
and wasn't wasn't the entire MOBA genre an accident basically? Because wasn't it something that started in like World of Warcraft or something?
Yeah, it was a mod.
Mod for Armor
Yeah, it was a
2.
mod, and now it's a legit genre now, and it's obviously making shit tons of money. So that's crazy to think about that.
Same with Battle Royale.
Yeah, so it's wild, but it's crazy to think about. So do we know is Riot coming up with a new game, or are they even working on one?
Yes,
Yeah,
they've officially said that they've brought back Mark and Brandon to start heading a new project. So Riot Games officially is now a split team. So they do have
something
half on
completely
something
separate
new.
from League of Legends.
Yes. Yes.
They said
Like,
they were
Riot Games presents fucking Borderlands, something like a first person.
I
Something
had
like
the board
a
game.
different genre.
I'm pretty sure it's completely different, but I don't know if they've actually said it's completely different. I just know that they're working on a new game, a new actual real big AAA game.
That's going to be one of the most anticipated games to come out in a very long time, just because Riot has their name behind it.
Yeah, hopefully. It's been a while.
I'm hyped as fuck to see what they make, because I mean, yeah, it's exciting.
I mean, we have to pay dues to how this actually started, with how people do the meme of Riot Games is a small indie company with only 100 employees. I mean, we do have to remember how this started and how it has to start for other people too. It has to start for like PUBG. It has to start for Fortnite the exact way. They need to have small companies that just kind of do something that really takes off. And I don't know. I mean, as far as the next big genre, I don't know. I mean, I'd love to see fighters, but fighters just have such a steep learning curve. I don't think they'll ever be huge, even if Smash 5 comes out and it's literally the greatest game in the world. I just don't think it'll be ever that big. I mean, I don't know. I'd like to see the resurgence of a shooter, just a traditional shooter. I mean, like, CSGO is great and everything, and Overwatch is good, but I don't know. I just want a good team-based shooter that's just shooter. I don't know. I feel like it's time.
Yeah, I think the shooter genre is just it's something's missing as far as like being an esport, like a really really involved esport goes. I don't know. I just have a really hard time watching them for some reason. Like something's missing. There's something that's not there to draw me in. I don't know what it is, but
it's never been that way, like you said. I mean, like Halo has been like attractive, and Call of Duty's been attractive to watch and stuff. Like that.
They're always arcade games. They're always like arcade style.
It's true, but isn't Overwatch in them like arcade style?
Yeah, and look how that esport turned out.
Yeah, but I don't know. I don't know if maybe Overwatch was designed to be that way in a nutshell. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe we just need another go at it. I mean, all these other shooter games just seem so much more real, and then Overwatch is just like, hey kids, look what we can do with some acid, a baby toy, and 6 pounds of sugar. And then
Yeah. I mean, really what I'd like to see is like a solid shooter that has like team-based play, and that's been something that's hard to get. Like, it's hard to get an objective for
Splatoon 2.
a first-person shooter that actually is like fun.
Splatoon 2. That's actually a third person, so I shouldn't say anything.
Yeah.
But no, I agree with you. I think I'd love to see that. I want to see a game that's designed perfectly to be played and viewed the same. I want you to have the same experience viewing and playing a game. That's why a lot of these other games have kind of just fallen down. It feels like I want to be able to die and have a great viewing experience. I want to be able to watch people and have a great viewing experience, but I also want to like play the game and have the same experience. I mean, that's kind of why some of these games just fall flat shooter wise.
I think somebody's gonna figure it out. It's only a matter of time. There's too much money behind the entire esports, anything esports, just to somebody's gonna get it right eventually.
I don't want to dwiddle. What, she was in there the entire time?
No.
I didn't even see her come in. I don't know the X-Files theme. Anyways, not to like play on this too long, but what do you guys think about mobile games? Because we have obviously mobile MOBAs and we have mobile PUBG now, and like,
yeah.
Do you think mobile is actually going to be a big thing now?
Side note: mobile PUBG is getting sued pretty hard. I think.
I thought it was actually made by PUBG people.
No, I don't think so. I'll fact check that, but real quick. But I pretty sure they're getting sued.
How the hell can you play with people on mobile that are on the real game if it's?
I have no idea how any of that mobile stuff works for PUBG, but dude, I'm not a mobile player. If I'm gonna play something mobile, I'm getting a Switch or a DS. That's just me.
But at this point, we're getting to the point where phones are pretty much going to be just as powerful as like the Switch. I mean, the Switch
Alright.
isn't a really good example, but you know what I mean. Like,
Yeah, maybe you guys are. I'm stuck on the old obsolete, paid obsolescence iPhone 5. So,
you can still play video games on that.
dude, it barely loads the Facebook and Reddit that I run.
I'm sorry, that's my mistake. So the corporation that owns PUBG Corp, is they're suing two mobile games called Rules of Survival and Knives Out. They're suing them for copyright infringement.
Yeah,
so,
they literally look the same. I've watched those before.
So yeah, so is that PUBG mobile game? That's like affiliated legit with PUBG? Because I didn't know you could play with console people on there.
Yeah, I thought that was like where people were talking shit because like you can do like lock in and you can do like lock on and stuff way easier in like the mobile game. Like it makes it a little bit easier because obviously you're on a phone and it's like kind of unfair. I thought that's why people were talking shit about it or something.
I can't imagine playing PUBG on a phone. I imagine I'd be worse.
Yeah.
Well, the graphics are better. I hear. I hear it's less glitchy. I hear it's less glitchy overall.
That's fucking terrible.
Oh,
How the fuck?
I
Is
wouldn't
that
doubt it.
Watch
'cause-
videos of it. It actually looks better in my
I
opinion.
will. I'll check it out after this.
But it's made like, dude, my computer runs a lot better than when I first bought it. Like, that game actually can run now.
Jimmy, that's because you have new components again.
No, you
Like-
don't have to have settings on like low, and it like still is just like, hey, chug buildings. What are those things?
But yeah, as far as mobile games, I've never really been huge into mobile games. The game that I got the most into on my phone was Clash of Clans. I played that solid for like 2 or 3 months. Then I got bored of it and I quit. So I've never really been a huge mobile game guy. Is there a specific mobile game that you wanted to dive into and talk about?
I mean, we've talked about. I mean, look at League of Legends. They do. It's not Arena of Valor. They do another game that they have a professional team for. I know Arena of Valor is pretty big. I think like Mobile Legends is another one that's like huge. There's like I think it's Mobile Legends or something is a League of Legends based game that's owned by Tencent. So I can get away with it. And it's like huge in China. It just has exploded. But I don't know. I'm just trying to think. I mean, Jimmy brings up a good point. I mean, with like the way that the Nintendo Switch is, do I think a Nintendo Switch will ever have like a really good like online professional game? I don't know. I'd almost feel like a phone itself or a tablet would have a better game that would be good to the masses. And it's getting to the point where phones and tablets are going to be just as good as normal computers. Well, close. I'm not going to say that.
Sure.
Yeah.
I think they gotta like actually come out with some games that aren't just like Candy Crush or, and that, where it's just
100%.
like time wasters. Like we gotta have some action. Like if they want to bring an actual game to the platform, like seriously, put something like a turn-based RPG on there. Like, give me faux Pokemon. Don't copy them, but copy them. Like, give me Pokemon.
Or give me Pokemon. Yeah, like just straight up give me Pokemon. Like, I mean,
just give me Pokemon on the iOS and. Who am I to complain?
Yeah,
I'd play that.
In a heartbeat, because you could do online and like local and all this other stuff really easy.
Yeah.
And I mean, if the Switch didn't exist, then that would have to be the next logical route. And maybe then Pokemon would be back in season. Then we'd have professional turn-based games again and all this other like strategy stuff that's fun. I don't know. I mean,
someone go make it. Just go make your own.
Yes.
Like,
strategy games that are turn-based for mobile would be huge, and I'm sure you could make really good business industry off of it. Honestly, that's what I like to see. Let's talk about that, and then let's not talk about it. I don't want to get into shit, but that's what I would say is I would love to see the rise of strategy games again. That's something that I would like to see.
Yeah, playing a competitive game on my phone just doesn't sound appealing to me at all. Like I said, I feel like I have no control over a game. Like unless it was like a turn-based like. On my phone, like you said, that'd be like Hearthstone. I play Hearthstone on my phone just fine, but like fucking PUBG or like some shit where I have to like do like reaction shit. I don't think that sounds fun to me at all.
But you have to look at it this way. They're not necessarily marketing it to the poor fuckers like us. They're marketing it to people with like the iPad Pro 10-inch $1,200 tablet with the little like add-on thingies that like work as joysticks and stuff that you see all the time. Like,
well, yeah,
I don't see those all the time at all.
I've seen. Well, remember we used to give out a bunch at HiveMind. You don't remember that? We used to have like the little like the SteelSeries makes them. You just like stick them onto your screen and it turns it into like a thumbstick and you could just like play games.
Those things.
Yeah, we used to give those out all the time. Cool. Like,
I'd have to have one of those. That's a game changer. Sounds like for sure.
I mean, they can make it work on mobile, but I agree with you. I mean, that's why Hearthstone is so big, right? Because you can play it on literally anything and it's like the same experience and it's fine. And I like Hearthstone. I just think I wanted more of like a turn-based strategy that's just not card-based because I like Pokemon, and Pokemon's just dumb because Nintendo won't make a good game.
Okay, so real quick before we go, you guys got anything else you want to say about the franchising or the mobile game, anything else like that, real quick?
Never do drugs.
Nope.
All right. I want to get one more thing from you guys. So the LCS, this spring split has wrapped up real quickly because Tyler's got to go, and I know we're all ready to go here pretty soon. So after what you've seen in spring split, who do you have for your first place team next split and your last place team next split?
Golden Guardians.
Last place, obviously.
First.
No.
I'm just kidding.
Oh, Tyler with the.
Can we do top three? Because I really want to talk about top three.
Yeah, let's do top three. That sounds even better. I was just kind of spitballing, but yeah. So you seem like you know where you want to go. Tyler,
Nope, I want to be last. I want people to fight.
You want to be last?
No. You figure this out. You go.
I'll
All right.
volunteer to go first.
Okay, go.
So, sorry. After from what I've seen this season, I'm gonna say Team Liquid's probably gonna take first again next split because that team is just too stacked. They're really good. I want to say so bad that CLG is gonna come back and do okay, but I don't think so. I think they got to make some serious changes to come back. So I think they'll be bottom 4. Okay, so Team Liquid. I'm gonna go Team Liquid for number 1. I'm gonna say TSM for number 2. That's my sleeper. They're gonna come back and do really well. And then I'm gonna go ahead and put it's a toss up between 100. No, fucking C9. C9 is gonna be number 3. I forgot about C9. How they did pretty well. So I'm gonna go Team Liquid, 100 Thieves, C9, top 3 next year or next split. Sorry, that's Cake's hot take for you. Jimmy,
All
go
right,
ahead.
Tyler. You gonna do
Tyler
this?
wants to be last. Yeah.
Yeah, he picks it out and then makes us go.
No, I
Alright.
can go next. You want me to go,
All
Jimmy?
right,
Do you need
so
more
I
time?
go Liquid.
Okay.
Nah,
Okay.
I got Liquids. I'm with you, man. They looked way too hot. Coming in at the end of this split, they look on fire. So I'm gonna go Liquid. I don't think TSM is gonna come back, so I'm gonna go like Echo Fox second, and I'll put Iron Thieves third.
Really? All right.
Yeah.
That's a solid 3. All right, Tyler, you better blow me away. I want to hear what you guys. You look like you're rearing up to say some shit.
I just like to talk shit.
Let's go.
People. I mean, it's pretty straightforward. It's gonna have to be Team Liquid or Echo Fox in the first 2. I'd probably say Team Liquid over Echo Fox, but in the regular season, Echo Fox will win probably. Only because I think Impact playoff buff is just way too strong. So they'll probably win like the playoffs, but Echo Fox might place first next year, next season, which is what I need because I need them to win off of. No, actually, who is it? Oh, no, Team Liquid won, so they should have enough championship points. So I need Echo Fox to win the actual playoffs next year so that they can get in for sure. But yeah, I'm gonna say Team Liquid, then Echo Fox, and then I'm gonna say Clutch Gaming third.
I like that pick actually. I do like that pick. You want to give me a little bit of backup for that?
Because they're not bad. Look at it this way: Echo Fox, Echo Fox 3-0'd Clutch super fucking hard, and then Team Liquid just 3-0'd 100 Thieves really fucking hard. And the 100 Thieves game versus CG came literally down to like last like 5 minutes or so. Like it was literally 2-2 super fucking close. Clutch Gaming should have won.
Doubt.
Apollo and Hakuho are like literally one of my favorite bot lanes. Like they've been around for so long. They're so well accustomed. Apollo is insane. Hakuho is also insane. They've just been on such shitty teams. Febavin's great. You got your pretty Wonder Boy, Danish man. What, Lyra? Lyra, come on, Lyra.
Yep.
Lyra's so fucking good. I think
Lyra's a stud, yeah.
It's just Solo. Solo's just the weakest link for CG, and people abuse it, and he sometimes does good, but he's not like stand worthy. So
Sure.
I think with enough time, Solo will be good, like average enough to hold himself against these other stacked top laners. But I mean, CG should have been in those finals. I don't think they would have done any better, but they should have been in the finals. I think 100 Thieves is literally just like a ton of like.
Yeah.
What's the word? Just smoke. They're just on like smoke essentially. Running on
Smoke
fumes.
mirrors.
Running on fumes.
Yeah.
That's the word.
I think whoever went into the finals against Team Liquid was walking into a shredder this year. But I think Clutch Gaming was definitely probably the surprise team for the split. I don't think anyone picked them to do as well as they did. So they'll be exciting to watch next split for sure.
Everyone will be. It should be a good split again. I think TSM will get back to form. I think they're still gonna lose, but
yeah, they'll get to playoffs again.
Cool. All right, guys. Well, I think we're about ready to wrap it up here. That's going to be episode number 8. I figured it out. That was episode number 8 of the Hot Coverage podcast. And after I'm done here, I'm going to upload episode 7 and episode 8. So you'll dual episode coming this week. So make sure to check them both out. Like we said earlier, Jimmy's got his computer back, so we'll probably try to get our Battle for Middle Earth video out hopefully, do you guys think we can do it by next weekend? Is that a little too soon? We gotta edit and stuff.
Next weekend as in like a week, like
Like
this
have
upcoming
it
weekend?
posted,
or, like-
have it uploaded and available by next Sunday night. Is that?
I think we could record this week. It's up to Jimmy, honestly.
It's up to Jimmy.
Yeah,
Yeah, 'cause Jimmy's
depends
editing
on
it, right?
Yeah, it depends on when we record to when I can edit. But yeah.
Okay. So let's
We'll
say this:
see.
we're gonna do the best we can to get it up this weekend, but there's not a 100% guarantee. So
Nothing's
check out our
guaranteed.
Facebook,
This is
yeah.
hot
Nothing's
garbage.
That's right. Fuck yeah, nothing's guaranteed. Yeah, we make no promises.
Fuck this
That's-
podcast.
That's how you get in life, head in life. Don't make, never set people up for accomplishment because they never be disappointed. So we're trying to get up by next week, but nevertheless, we'll see you guys next Sunday night for sure. Hopefully, with a Battle for Middle Earth video to talk about. All right, everybody, that was episode 8. Have a great week, and we will see you next Sunday night.
Don't matter, you're no fun, your friends aren't cool, and what you do is nothing to brag about, unless it's something everyone has been talking about, or wish that they had. If it's branded as valuable, and if it gets a lot of looks, if your social status improves, then she might take interest in you, but that's the only reason why she would. She's not a good person, she's only cute, and this selfish, shallow piece of shit inside of her makes her ugly as sin. Time and time again, I've given her a chance and almost believed that there was a human inside of her that really fucking cared, but I asked for too much, invested in a hollow, empty shell, the kind that gets filled with superficial trash, not a soul, no heart. My friend, the monster eats and sleeps and breathes the struggles of individuals just like yours, sustained by your grief. My friend, the narcissist only cares about how good you can make her look, emotionally handicapped. She will trade you for all that you got and leave nothing but an empty, depleted waste of a man. She's only biding her time. She set a trap for everywhere that you go. Better change your name, your address, and anything she might know. My friend, the monster eats and sleeps and breathes the struggles of individuals just like yours, sustained by your grief. My friend, the narcissist only cares about how good you can make her look, emotionally handicapped. My friend, the monster eats and sleeps and breathes the struggles of individuals